Man, time to do a recap of my Bears. Was it week 4 against the Las Vegas Raiders? Bears fans traveled to Las Vegas in packs. I think they said it was about a 60-40 split in the stadium of Bears fans, so that was amazing. But I will take it. 25-24 victory, walk-off field goal block. A win is a win is a win. That's what they say. But yeah, figured the Bears was gonna come in there and they would have to do better on their run defense, which they didn't, and I'll touch on. But overall, you gotta like the win. You gotta like the grit. They stayed in that game and fought, even though Max Crosby pretty much destroyed all their plans. But let's talk about it. The offense was not good, not consistent from the week before. Caleb was up and down. He had some good moments, and we'll touch on that. But overall, the run game still did not get going. And Max Crosby is probably the best defensive player in the league right now. Caleb gave them props. I mean, he was destroying the Bears' offensive plan in the first quarter. Like he knew, like he was in the room with them when they planned it. That was amazing. You know, the run game didn't get going. Offensive line wasn't blocking Crosby or anybody good. But you got to give them credit. Give Ben Johnson credit. Give the offense credit. They went in halftime in the locker room and made adjustments. And one of those main adjustments was benching the starting left tackle, Braxton Jones, in the game. Like, you don't really see that a lot unless it's an injury, but you know, they had Theo Benedict on the right side because Darnell Wright was hurt. Came out of half, moved Benedict to left to bench Braxton Jones, and put the rookie Ozzie Trapillo in on the right. And you know, you don't want to say they shut him down, but you really didn't see too much of the chaos from Max Crosby anymore in the second half. They kind of got it going a little bit, still really didn't score until they really needed to. And that's where I turned to Caleb and Ben Johnson. You know, even though the run game still didn't get going that good in the second half, you saw Caleb's resolve. You know, you go down and you do the winning drive and score a touchdown. Basically, score a touchdown. You know, Caleb did it. He's got that clutch gene. Is what it looks like. He drove him down. And to be so under pressure in the first half by Max Crosby and the Raiders defense, and him stay steady. He just pretty much stayed steady and kept the belief in the team, and you got to give him credit for that. That's huge. That's what he's here for. You know, you would say the average young quarterback, to get that much pressure in the first quarter would probably wreck the game for them and kind of mess them up totally. But not for Caleb. He stayed steady throughout the game, and then at the end he delivered with a game-winning drive. So you got to give him his kudos for that. You know, defense was amazing. So once again, Kevin Byard, I gave him credit last week. He had 2 interceptions. I mean, the way he was baiting Geno, it was 2 plays and it looked like exactly the same plays on the interceptions. You know, he would drop deep or act like he was dropping deep and then come in and just take the ball from Geno on a route that Geno probably throw every game and very confident in. And it worked. He picked them all twice. Then then the defense got another interception on Geno, and it was a fumble. So the defense really kept the Bears in that game with the turnovers. And unfortunately, going back to the offense, they didn't capitalize. So that's what caused Caleb to have to do a game-winning drive, because in that first half, with those turnovers, they kept getting in the red zone and not scoring or coming away with field goals. So that caused Caleb to have to do the game-winning drive, and he came through on it. But the defense is the reason. All those turnovers. So as havoc-causing as Max Crosby was, so was the Bears' defense to the Raiders. So give them their hats off to that. Kevin Byard with the interceptions and just really playing the field general is a big deal. Still didn't see a lot of pass rush and pressure. Still didn't stop the run. Ashton Genty finally got off on the Bears. It looked like he was about to be called a bust, which I knew wasn't going to be the case. But, of course, he goes off against the Bears. Why not? But, yeah, the defense held their own as far as turnovers. You know, they had excellent coverage. So even though they didn't get to Geno and they didn't stop the run, the coverage was amazing. So, you know, big tip to the cap to Dennis Allen for scheming that up. Special teams did good again. You had a really good pin punt by Torrey Taylor, and I mean, Cairo hit all those field goals. Without those field goals, you know, Caleb wouldn't have had an opportunity for a game-winning drive because you would have been behind too many points. So, overall, kind of gritty win, a nasty, dirty win, but you take all the wins you can get. But I like it because it's a lesson. You know, you have those type of games where nothing's going your way pretty much 3/4 of the game all the way to the end, but you still find a way to win it. Though it may have been fluky, you can take that and learn from it and use it to be better. So I think that was good for the Bears. I really do. But yeah, overall 25-24 for my Bears. They on the bye week this week, so that's even better because now you can get some of those starters to recover and be ready against the Washington Commanders, hopefully. But bear down.